Hey, all my IFG friends, this is Steve. I want to say, if you like movies like I do, we've started a new podcast called Happy Hour Flicks. You can find it anywhere podcasts are found. It's all about nostalgic movies that we love, and we bring on special guests each episode, and we also have specialty cocktails made for each one, too. So it really is an hour of a good time talking about movies that we love, like Gremlins, Seven, Free Willy. We talk about The Last Starfighter also. I mean, we kind of run the gamut across all the decades and really have a great time. So wanted to invite you to come over and join us. That's Happy Hour Flicks, anywhere podcasts are found.
This is the
Independent
Filmmakers Guide
from Framework Productions.
Framework
Productions.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Independent Filmmakers Guide. As mentioned in previous episodes, we here at IFG have taken so many of the lessons learned from the stories shared over the last 3 years and put them into practice ourselves. That's right. As you may know, our movie, Heard, is now officially released. And as one of the producers on the film, I'd like to point out that this podcast's two other co-hosts, Stephen Pierce and James Allardyce, are also producers, as well as the director and co-writers of the film respectively. And we and our entire team have a direct call to action and invitation for all of us today. But first, let's just do a quick recap of some of the rollout just to get us up to speed. We had our world premiere of Heard in August at Fright Fest London on a gorgeous IMAX screen with over 700 people in attendance. It was truly awesome. Our US premiere kicked off in New York at New York Comic Con with a limited theatrical run in Manhattan starting October 12th, and then LA, St. Louis, Ohio, just to name a few, starting Friday the 13th. Pretty fun day to release a horror film in October, I have to admit. And we are now also available for streaming on Apple TV, Prime, Google Play, and many others. And as of this recording, just released on DVD in the UK. That's right, our UK friends. Be sure to pick one or many up. All the details, pics, links, and all of that you can find at heard.film, and we invite you to check all of that out, heard.film. Now, for what may be the most personally special, we even got to go back to the very town and county where we shot the film and where our director and co-writer of the film, Stephen, is from. It was awesome for so many reasons, and one of them, while you're watching the film, and no spoilers here, of course, you can spot in the background a beautifully lit sign of a cinema built in the 1940s. At the time of filming, that cinema had been shut down for years, but was a very special part of the community. And since wrapping, it has now reopened, attempting to make its way back to being a centerpiece of entertainment for the town. And so our premiere in that town, it was inside that very cinema, the Rogers Theater, and in part to show our gratitude and thankfulness and support for all the support the community had so graciously given us during our shoot, which was immense. Proceeds from those sales are now going to a new screen for the Rogers. We're incredibly excited about that. And we were also legitimately overwhelmed by the excitement of everyone who came to enjoy a full afternoon and evening of festivities, and of course, the feature itself, Heard. In true independent filmmaking fashion, we couldn't have done it without them. And we know that our success is their success. Just as with all of us who are independent filmmakers, our importance in creating a vibrant and healthy film industry has become ever more clear with the recent strikes against the AMPTP. And now, of course, for more on that, by the way, check out our early episodes concerning the strike and the interim agreements. Okay, now I just went through and mentioned that Heard is released, so most think, what's left but to see it, rent, buy, and watch it as part of, if not just, of course, support, also part of the fun tradition of checking out new horror films leading up to Halloween. And yes, on behalf of IFG and all the wonderful people involved in making Heard, we do personally invite you to help us keep it in front of audiences, to catch fire. We invite you to please rent, buy it tonight, We're happy to share our work and humbly believe that our film is entertaining and unique, both as a genre film as well as the story in and of itself. And we also invite you to what seems to be the norm in podcasting, but not so much in films, to ask if you would also then rate and review our film. Because none of the things I mentioned about our rollout just happened. It happened with the dedication and sweat of so many making calls, emailing, following up, and just being relentless. There was no, as the term goes, cavalry. There was no cavalry. And we know that this part of filmmaking, the getting of our stories out in front of people who would want to see them but simply don't know about them, is a huge discussion among our communities constantly. And we know that in this online streaming world, the algorithms position themselves in the center of our film's success, rating and reviewing, specifically on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, are not just places to send praise into the void. They directly impact Prime and Apple TV positioning in that order. After buying, renting, watching, which we think you'll be happy you did, and is obviously a huge support, these other two aforementioned rating platforms also play an important role, whether we like it or not. And so you, our community of listeners, and those with whom you share this film to also watch, with your engagement, ostensibly become our studio's support. As independent filmmakers, we are each other's studios. So rent, buy, watch, enjoy, and then rate and review on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. And for other indie films you may watch soon, be sure to do the same. Our success is your success. As independent films prove they can crack through the thick line of attention built by larger studio-backed movies taking up so much space, more and more potential investors in our independent films will jump into that space and start taking up room. All the links for everything mentioned in today's episodes are in our show notes, so please check them out. Support begetting support. Again, on behalf of everyone at IFG, we are incredibly happy to share our feature film, Heard. IFG, How Movies Get Made.